Hello everyone! Last weekend we had an amazing fishing trip and we caught this beautiful big pollock. So today I'm turning it into one incredible dinner. Let's get cooking. First, let's fillet the fish. So, what is pollock and why did we keep this fish? Pollock is a white fish with a mild taste and a firm, flaky texture. It is quite lean, high in protein and naturally contains omega-3 fatty acids. The best thing about fresh pollock is how versatile it is. You can fry it, bake it, grill it, or turn it into fish and chips. And this fish was caught right here in Ireland during one of our ocean fishing trips. Once you have fresh fish like this, I think the best thing you can do is keep this simple recipe. First, I remove all the small bones from the fillets. Then I carefully take off the skin, trying to keep as much of the beautiful fish as possible. I want the fillets nice and clean, with no bones or skins left. And now they are ready for the next step. After cleaning the fish, I weighed the fillet and I got about 1.4 kilograms of beautiful fresh pollock. Now I'm cutting the pollock into small even pieces around 2 to 3 centimeters wide. I like to keep these pieces roughly the same size so they cook evenly and every piece gets that crispy coating. You can make them a little bigger or smaller depending on how you like your fish and chips. Once all the fillets are cut, I spread the pieces out on a clean board. Now it's time to season the fish. I'm keeping it simple with just salt and black pepper because this pollock is fresh and I want to keep it natural flavor. Season both sides of every piece. A little salt, a little black pepper, and that's all the fish needs for now. The next step is the most important part. We are going to make a light, crispy butter that will turn this fresh pollock into a proper crispy fish. Now it's time to make the crispy butter for our fish. For this butter I'm keeping the ingredients very simple. I'm starting with regular flour. Then I'm adding cornstarch. This helps give the fish a lighter and crispier coating. Next I'm adding a little baking powder. For the liquid I'm using very cold sparkling water. The cold water helps keep the butter light, and the carbonation gives it a nice texture when it hits the hot oil. Now I'm adding a little salt and black pepper, and I'm mixing everything together slowly. I want the butter to be smooth, with no dry flour left. The consistency I'm looking for is similar to thick sour cream. It shouldn't be too thick because we want a light coating around the fish. But it also shouldn't be too thin because we need the butter to stick to every piece. So I'm mixing it really well until everything comes together. And that's it, our crispy butter is ready. While the butter is resting, I am getting the potatoes ready. I cut them into medium-sized pieces, not too small, because I want them to have a crispy outside and a soft, fluffy center. After cutting the potatoes, I put them into a small pot, cover them with water and cook them for a few minutes. I don't want to fully cook them at this stage, I just want them to become slightly tender. This little step helps. The potatoes become really crispy when they go into the oven. Once they are ready, I drain the water and transfer the potatoes to a bowl. Then I add some oil and my favorite spices. I like to keep the seasoning simple with salt, black pepper, paprika and a little garlic. I give everything a really good mix, making sure every piece is lightly covered with oil and seasoning. Then I spread the potatoes out on a baking tray lined with a parchment paper. I try not to put them too close together because they need some space to roast properly. Now they go into a hot oven until they become beautiful golden and crispy on the outside, while staying soft and fluffy inside. Now everything is ready, so it's time to cook the fish. The fish thing I need is hot oil. I'm heating it to around 118 degrees Celsius because the temperature of the oil is very important for getting that beautiful crispy coating. If the oil is not hot enough, the butter can absorb too much oil and become heavy and greasy. But if the oil is too hot, the outside can brown too quickly before the fish is properly cooked inside. First, I lightly coat each piece of pollock in plain flour. This is a small step, but it helps the wet butter stick much better to the fish. Then I dip the fish into the cold butter and make sure every piece is completely covered. I want a nice, even layer around the fish, not too thick, but enough to give us that crispy coating. Now comes the important part. I carefully lower each piece into the hot oil. I don't just drop the fish into the pan, because the butter can stick to the bottom or splash the hot oil. And this is something I always try to remember when frying fish. Don't overcoat the pan. If you put too many pieces in at once, the temperature of the oil drops. And instead of crispy fish, you can end up with a soft and greasy coating. So I'm frying the fish in batches and letting the hot oil do the work. You can already see the butter starting to puff up and turn golden. This is exactly what we want. The outside becomes crispy while the pollock inside stays tender and juicy. I'm turning the pieces when they need it, so they get an even golden color on all sides. And I'm not rushing this part. Good crispy fish needs a little time. Once the batter is deep golden and beautiful crisp, I take the fish out and let the excess oil drain away. And just listen to that crunch. This is the texture I was looking for, light, golden and seriously crispy. Now that the fish is ready, I'm going to make a really simple sauce to go with it. For the sauce, I'm using sour cream, mayonnaise, finely chopped pickles, a little onion and fresh dill. I add everything to a bowl, season it with a little salt and black pepper and mix it all together. The pickles give the sauce a nice fresh acidity, while the sour cream and mayonnaise make it creamy. And honestly, this sauce works really well with crispy fish and roasted potatoes. Now everything is ready. We have the golden roasted potatoes, the crispy pollock and our homemade sauce. I'm putting the potatoes down first, then adding the crispy fish on top, with the sauce on the side, a little lemon over the fish, and that's it. Fresh pollock, crispy butter, golden potatoes and homemade sauce. This is exactly the kind of dinner I love. Simple ingredients, cooked properly and a really satisfying result. And now there is only one thing left to do. Time to try it. That crunch says everything.